Nigerians, hate this man or not, he warned us. This man upper my phone screen warned us about everything that is going on right now in Nigeria. But instead of giving him flower for what he did to us, we call him names. He even called my own people specifically. He mentioned Benue people. He mentioned my people to caution my people. He called all Nigerians to attention about what Fulani plan is. This man warning to Nigerians is as if he was in the meeting with Fulani when they were organizing all this their plan, because all what he said is happening. But the most surprising thing to me is, despite his warning to Nigerians, and Nigerians are seeing all what this man said is coming to reality in their very face, a lot of people still hate him. I guess that is why he's still in custody, because till date, Fulani will be surprised at how this guy take know our information. This guy know too much. He know too much. That is why they arrested him. He know too much. That is why he's in detention. A lot of you may be pretending about it that, oh, we know this thing. Now lie. This man open a lot of your eyes. And everybody hates him for that. Even some of his evil brothers that will come now and say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu said this. Nnamdi Kanu said that. You should respect that man. This and that. A lot of you commenting that hate him when he was agitating then. But as of today, when all waiting talk, when they come to reality, now many Igbos come they dance to his tune. Even a lot of you were fighting him then. Stop pretending. So like I said, hate him or not, he warned us. Watch his video.
They are forcibly occupying their land and telling them that they cannot do anything about it. A whole presidency in a country openly and brazenly supporting terrorists. All of you watching and listening all over the world, you know that Miyetti Allah is a terrorist organization. You know that. They have killed. They have said that Benue State is theirs for the taking as a spoil of war. All of you are aware of it. You know what they are doing. Anywhere you have Fulani headsmen, terrorists for that matter, they tell you, oh, they are pastoralists. They are allowed to do their businesses in the forest. All of you are aware of it. But you kept quiet, hoping that somehow Tinubu will emerge as the president, or an Igbo man will come as the president, and your family will start enjoying. But in the meantime, you have no more farmlands, you have no more forests, you have nowhere you can call your own home. The same stupidity exhibited by Hausa peasants that enabled Fulani to take Sokoto from them, that enabled Fulani to take Katsina from them, that enabled Fulani to...
Anyway, share your thoughts on the comment section responsibly, and for those that love to cry, cry responsibly on the comment section. Thank you.
They broke the provision and the violation of human rights, killings, adoption, and they're not saying anything as regards, the killing of the Igbos and the Christians in Nigeria, because according to the report, Nigeria is one of the most deadliest places for the Christians to stay in the world. Yes, in the world. And this is so, now they've been dragged. They said they've broken the African Charter law. What's your take as regards this?
African Charter law broken is as a result of major principal objectives of AU, that's the African Union, that was previously OAU, presently translated into AU. You don't need to infringe on Africans. Infringing on their rights is one of the wickedest, let me say, trend in the recent time. It is trending in Senegal, it is trending in Kenya, it trends in Burkina Faso, and it is largely trending in Nigeria. A situation whereby the rights of the Christians, the rights of Nigerian citizens have been, violated by the government of the day, by the government of the past of Major General Buhari. So currently we are seeing a situation whereby the African rightists, Human Rights Union, organizations in the West, in the East, in the South, in the Central, on the continent of Africa, actually stood up in favor of the supreme leader of Biafra emancipation agitator. Yeah, agitation leader, that's in the person of Nnamdi Kanu. He started as early as possible, fighting for his people who have been over marginalized in the South, Central Eastern region of Nigeria. Yet the country called Nigeria could not, see it as a right way for people's voice to be heard right from north, mid-belt, southwest, southeast, north, core north, northeast. So that's why Kanu is seen as a man that has stood on his feet to liberate Africa, to set African continent free. So that's why it is, you know, on course. Because Ibrahim Traore is a Frenchman. He speaks French. Yet, artificial intelligence is translating all his narratives on what African continent is going through on the hearts of their Western Europe, you know, counterparts. So what am I trying to say here, to case here? The human rights in the axis of, let me say, Gambia, Senegal, you know, and Banjul. You know, Banjul is the capital of Gambia. See, they are doing the right thing. They come up because it has taken out of hand the situation whereby the Francophones and the Anglophones have this kind of demarcation, that's division between themselves simply because of language. Nigerians are going through lots and lots of deprivation, dehumanization, demoralization, cruelty, and hostilities. That's why this Banjul, which is supposed to be under either Portuguese, Spanish, or the French, you know, they took it upon themselves to educate their Nigerian counterparts that they follow what is going on, irrespective of the fact that we are here under British tutelage. They know what we are going through. I mean, the Gambians, Banjul. See, let me tell you, Kanu has gotten up to the stage of not, you know, annihilated by the British tutelage. Under the British tutelage of British leadership, Kanu is not going down again because Africa has come of age. You have the Dutch, you have the Portuguese, you have the Spanish, you have the French and the English here. And it has gotten out of hand that Britain has succeeded on bringing down Kanu, the Biafran agitator. So most of the Biafrans that are down at Krikri maximum prison, Gashua maximum prison, Agode. And the other one where mostly this guy spent the good numbers of his years, I mean, Ganefayemi, in Meduguri, I think, or Borno State. Everywhere they are recording it across Africa. That's why these human rights activists across West Africa, Eastern Africa, and the entire continent of Africa are coming up to actually sensitize Nigeria that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to die. He's going to come out and express himself. He's going to come out and finish up what he started many years ago. 10 years now, he started it. So let me tell you, from Banjul, capital of Gambia, are coming the foremost African human rights activists to actually educate Nigerian political leadership that they have gone far to bring down Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as his kinsmen in the southeastern hemisphere of Nigeria. See, listen and listen good. What Ibrahim Traore is doing is really a rejoinder sequence to what Kanu has actually had been doing in the past. Traore is just like a baby born on a cradle to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's, you know, ideology in the past. Currently, Ibrahim Traore is a newborn baby. Both are visionaries, and they have come to take Africa, you know, neo-colonialist policy to the next level, because Africa is still under the tutelage of the British neo-colonialism. So Traore has come and is making wave across Sahel country of Africa.
But do you think that the Nigerian government will finally get solutions as regards the incessant killings of the Christians? Most importantly, we've seen the UN, we've seen Trump when he newly came into office talk about the killings of Christians in Africa, most importantly in Nigeria. But do you think that the Tinubu government have what it takes to stop this incessant killing.
Tinubu government doesn't have what it takes to stop incessant killing in Nigeria by the herders across Nigerian farmlands, across Nigerian states. Why? Because Tinubu government is still under the tutelage of the Fulani Janjaweeds. The Fulani hegemonies are still in charge of the current administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why? They are mostly in the Nigerian armed forces. You talk about, let me break Nigeria military forces into many parts. One, customs. They are there for the entire territorial water of Nigeria. That's the Atlantic Navy, you know, the international water chef. See, let me tell you, the customs there are mostly controlled by the Fulani, you know, hegemony. Then the immigration there on our international shelf, yeah, immigration are mostly largely controlled by the Fulanis. Then you talk about the DMI, Directorate of Military Intelligence, controlled by the same Fulanis. That's it. Then you talk about the quarantine and the prison controller general, the quarantine Fulani, prison control general Fulani, what else? Immigrations Fulani, what else? Do you want to know? Then when you come to Nigerian police institution, it's controlled by the Fulani hegemonies. The DPOs, the DTO, the police commissioners and AIG across Nigerian territory, they are all Fulanis. So what do you have to do this time around? That's why I'm telling you that Tinubu will have no control over the Fulani. Rather, the Fulanis are the one controlling him. Yes, that's why there are many policies he come out to, you know, fast track to get Nigeria better. But he could not excel because Fulanis are there. And being that Tinubu himself is not a righteous person, he has many things hiding under his ace or armpit. Okay. He could not excel because he is not a righteous man. Tinubu is hiding under the Fulani tutelage, siphoning Nigeria Commonwealth. Tinubu has refinery in Malta and many more in Trinidad and Tobago. Tinubu is not a righteous person. He's not in the right position to lead Nigeria as a country.
There has been an alliance with a Biafran government in Nigeria for a very long time, and they are one of the recognized powerful forum or agency or institute, let me put it that way, that sees to the recognition, you know, of fundamental human rights and the privilege for people or for indigenous people seeking self-determination. And they are also very important in this part of the world in Africa because of the role they have, prominent role they have played, you know, for a very long time. So Panafrica Institute, I think, is one of the people that came out to alert the world on the injustice that was going on, you know, not only within Nigeria or within Africa, but I think to an extent they singled out you know, the Biafran cause of the Biafran agenda, and they have been following it, you know, consistently, especially the one we saw when Simon Ekpa had issues with, you know, the Finnish government. The Pan-African Institute or Forum, where the 24 hours was always, you know, is still with Simon Ekpa, you know, documenting, trying to find out, you know, the position of the Finnish government on the issue that has to do with Biafran Finnish citizen Simon Ekpa. So you can see this agency have continually, you know, issued, you know, a press statement attracting global attention to the issue of Biafra. So I don't know how he managed to single out, you know, Dr. Cho of Ambazonia too. You know, these are the ones already on his table. So it's a recognized and institute, you know, globally, you know, known for, you know, what they are doing now concerning people who are being facing extermination, political witch hunt, you know, extreme marginalization, attack, you know, like the one we are experiencing in Nigeria now under Fulani people. So, and they are telling us that the Biafrans themselves do not have right to protect themselves. Is that what the Finnish government is trying to actually say? The way we are seeing the issue they are having with Simon Ekpa in that regard. So Pan-Africa has played a very major role in bringing Biafra to the global world.
Okay, but with this now, do you not think that it's our time the Nigerian government and Tinubu's government retrace their step as regards insecurity here in Nigeria?
There might not be definitely any good result coming out from that angle, because it is being suspected. That suspicion is already there. We don't know who that is actually powering the Fulanization agenda, the Islamic agenda, that's going on in Nigeria, the killings, and here, almost all the 36 states of the federation is under Fulani siege. So we don't know which government, but it became, extremely, a threat since the era of Buhari, Malami, and the rest of them that came into power. APC government, it become, and we can see that, since Buhari came into power, and then when we started hearing about Meiti Allah, all the stuff like that, groups that are associated with Fulanic, activities or pastoral activities, as they call it, but actually they are carrying out a killing spree agenda, just conquest to make sure, that I don't know what they intend to achieve with that. So, and you can see the level of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment, to the issue of insecurity. Even while he visited Benue, they still struck, killed, invaded Nigerian military barracks, killed a lot of military personnel, their soldiers there, and you can see, so we don't know actually, whose government is backing who, because these guys can come up with anything, they can pretend at any given time, they can set up anything at any time, So I think to an extent, if we are beginning to have a forceful movement, like the Pan-African movement, to bring these people actually to the book. And if there's any way the international community can use such an agency, to actually, bring these people to book, because we don't know the reason why, there's no government in Nigeria. Where people are dying, there's no governance, So bring them to book, like the issue we are seeing now of Mazi Kanu and of course Simon Ekpa. I know Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be regretting at this point in time, because what he thought would have happened to Simon Ekpa is not what he's getting now. We know the kind of statement that we are calling coming from his administration as at that time, to the extent, and he got in contact with the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, and all of them were making jubilating, that Christopher Musa, Simon Ekpa must fall, and this and that. At the end of the day, now he's facing the court, and I can be rest assured that's victory at the end of the day. So that is the game. That's what it is. But one thing we must understand is this. Now you can't take it away that these men might likely be heading to ICC at the end of the day.
So you don't feel that the AU have got what it takes, to make the difference as regards the injustice in Nigeria?
Yeah, if there's a proper evidence being tendered by institutions like the ones we are seeing now, Pan-Africa Institute and the rest of them, yes, they can be brought to book. Definitely, they can be brought to book. There's no two ways about it. They can face the consequences. But you can see the way things are now, the way they are doing their things, moving a lot of things, changing directions, and are there, and the issue of corruption, and is the AU former president, he cannot be tried. Then, what of those who were engineering your administration to carry out atrocities, knowing fully well that even in the Nigerian constitution, people have right to defend themselves? So why are you saying that Simon Ekpa is this, Simon Ekpa is that? Somebody who is alerting his own people on the danger of Fulani agenda, in Nigeria. Then you simply look for a way to say that it's causing insecurity. I think to an extent, the EU will intervene on this. The international community will intervene on this, and you can see now what they thought. It's not what they are getting in Finland. You know, we see the landmark global victory, you know, celebrated by almost all the major media houses all over the world concerning what Kenyan government did, you know, concerning Nnamdi Kanu. And the same thing we are expecting to happen in Kenya, and definitely that is what is going to be. So it's likely that if you know they get it right at the end of the day, my brother, we are not far from the truth. This government under APC can likely face ICC, because AU have the capacity, you know, to invite them, and of course let them face. I think this will serve as a detriment to other people, you know, and leaders who are, you know, engaging themselves in atrocities and pretending as if nothing is happening.
More than 200 people were killed. When I woke up this morning and I got the story of what happened, the first 7 calls I put across were all killed. The first 7 guys I called,
you tried to call, were all dead.
Exactly. They were all dead. So in my village today, if you speak to someone, just be very rest assured that in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, you hear the sad news about that person you've just spoken to. And do you know, before now, just last month, about 20 people were killed in that same village. They are the Fulani, and it's not ethnic profiling. They are the Fulani, it's not ethnic profiling. When people want to be politically correct, they will say, no, that is an ethnic, it's not, and that is why you see the Sultan of Sokoto will not react to this. He reacted when just about 11 people were butchered were killed in Edo State, the so-called hunters. They reacted. They put up Northern Elders Forum. They made several press conferences. Many governors stood up. The governor of Edo had to travel to some of these states to go and say sorry. Just 11 hunters, that is alleged hunters, if really they were hunters, who were killed. Now 200, nobody in the north is speaking, because that is the collective agenda, jihad, and the complete takeover of the land of our people. And let me tell you, so I'm saying it authoritatively, I'm an authority in this area. I was born and raised in Jos. I speak Hausa as my first language. I speak Hausa better than I speak Tiv. And let me tell you, this thing they call intelligence. We are the sources of this intelligence. The government sometimes use the narrative of intelligence to confuse you, as if what they know is different. They know exactly what we know, or we even know better, because we are the sources of this intelligence. Many of my friends from the adjoining villages in Nasarawa State, who are of different ethnic group other than the Fulanis, anytime the Fulanis are mobilizing, like this attack, they told us day before yesterday. We communicated to the security force. Nothing has been done. They communicated to us.
No, just hold on, because this is too much to rush. I'm sorry. Are you saying that you got an intelligence report as a civilian? Your yes. Community had an intelligence report about this particular attack that killed over 200 people, and you.
My sister, do you know the funny thing? It is no longer secret. It's just like the secret cultism in Nigeria. They gathered their AK-47 in a community called Giza in Nasarawa State, in the boundary between Nasarawa and Benue, in Giza and Kadorko, all our friends from there, and they come out in the open with their this and they hold a meeting openly. You know, they are going to strike in Hirota, and then some people begin to beat them farewell. Allah Kulafia. May God take you safely. May God take you safely. Yes, they came in more than 100 bites. Listen, but that is how your country has degenerated. That these things are done in broad daylight. It has degenerated. And let me tell you, let me also shock you. About 7 soldiers, I'm saying it as it is, about 7 soldiers joined them from the Giza, the community, adjoining my own village. And they arrested one who uttered all this, made this confession. He said some of the soldiers from Giza trained them of Fulani ethnic stock. And they joined them, they commandeered the whole thing. So what they did yesterday was extremely tactical and strategic with military precision. Right now, there are a lot of tea villages in my council ward that will be taken over by Fulani. They take over not just for grazing, but for proper settlement. You go to these villages today, you find even their kids crawling, small kids who are yet to start walking. They brought them, their families, occupying thief homes, thief houses, which are still standing, occupying those houses. And they have their kids there, not just their cattle. So it's not all about open grazing prohibition. It's about total takeover of the land.